Welcome back to Good Morning Football. We've got your highlights from the Giants and the Patriots. What do we think? What does Daniel Jones pass the eye test despite the loss? We'll tell you what we think, but Will Selva's got an update for us in Culver City this morning. Happy Friday, Will.
Happy Friday to you, Kay, and to the fellas. Well, the Jets' offense certainly needs a boost badly, and they've scored only 2 touchdowns. That's it. The defense has scored more touchdowns than the offense, 3. The special teams have scored 1 touchdown, so you get the point here. The offense certainly is anemic, and this is exactly why Darnold returning from his bout with mononucleosis is so important. Problem is, he's facing the Cowboys this Sunday, and they're going to be coming after Darnold. His offensive line will need to do their part to protect him and his previously enlarged spleen. They gave up 10 sacks last week. Yike. Well, Darnold says he knows the guys up there will take care of him.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. When I'm out there playing, I'm not worried about guys hitting me or anything. I'm trusting the guys up front to do their thing. I'm trusting the guys, the receivers to go out and get open when it's time to pass the ball. So for me, it's all about trust. When I do get hit, I know that I'm not in harm's, I'm not in danger anymore. They're letting me go out there and play because it's safe. So I'm not worried about that.
From one quarterback to another, Gardner Minshew off to a nice start in his rookie campaign. He's the only rookie QB in the Super Bowl era to have a 100-plus passer rating and no interceptions through his first career starts. He'll take on Cam Jordan and the Saints this week. So does New Orleans have an advantage going up against a rookie signal caller?
If anything, he's a rookie quarterback, so he can take all those hits. I mean, it's not like, he's a shining, green leaf out there. It's not like he's aged at all. What is he, 23? As a quarterback, that's like pristine body shape, right? Like, you never get touched in college unless you're at a game. You never get touched in the NFL until you get to a game. He's taken like maybe 50 hits in his life. No. I mean, if anything, he's going to be rolling even more at a higher pace.
A shiny green leaf. That is an excellent way to put it. Either way, Cam Jordan, friend of the show, has 0 career sacks against the Jaguars, so he'll be looking to make Gardner Minshew number 1. He also needs 2.5 sacks to pass Pat Swilling for 3rd all-time on the Saints franchise sack list. So I understand his logic and his thinking on this one. Only Cam Jordan, though, can come up with it.
His face, he looks so excited to sack Gardner Minshew. It's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
What was the term?
A
shining green leaf?
Shiny green leaf.
What does that mean?
The last quarterback who was a leaf, it did not end well. No, he was drafted right after Peyton Manning.
That's it.
Anyway, that's a really interesting comparison.
Well done. Touché.
Ryan Leaf
Give
joke.
yourself your own bump with that pen just
Who knew?
Yeah, it's just Friday. Like, I got ants in my pants. Let's go. Let's talk football.
Let's go. Thank you so much, Will. Let's do that. Let's talk about something you love, the run game. The Packers coming off a big win over the Cowboys last week, and they'll be put to the test again in Week 6. They host the Lions for Monday Night Football. With more on the Packers, here's Randy Moss. Randy?
Okay, Devontae Adams missed practice on Thursday due to the toe injury that he suffered at the end of the Eagles' loss a couple of weeks ago. Kept him out of the game last week, the win against the Cowboys. He said he's not sure yet if he'll be available to play on Monday night against the Lions. But what he said after that didn't sound particularly encouraging. Adams described it as a major injury involving ligament damage. He said the concern that he has and team doctors have is that if he tries to rush it and come back too quickly, he could injure it in an even more severe fashion, and that it could be something that might linger all season long. He said, it doesn't feel the way I want it to feel right now. I've made a lot of strides, but it still has healing to do. And other Packers injury news, Jamal Williams, who backs up Aaron Jones, shares snaps at times at running back position, is out of concussion protocol. He practiced on Thursday. Starting center Corey Linsley apparently is not out of concussion protocol yet. He was on the field Thursday. Remains to be seen if he'll be available Monday night. Okay?
Randy, we're excited for this one. Who's showing a spark of brilliance? It's presented by the Spark Card by Capital One. No Devontae Adams. The Packers offense was still able to do enough against the Cowboys in Week 5. And a lot of it came from running back Aaron Jones. He had over 100 yards. He got into the end zone 4 times. He waved, hasta la vista, baby, to America's team. And he's the first Packer to accomplish that feat since Dorsey Levens scored 4 touchdowns.
Dorsey!
Yeah,
25.
back in the year 2000. It's very cool to me in this air raid. Let's throw the ball.
Air raid, air rin.
Yes, yeah. Just
air raid, air rin. Rodgers
really
And Aaron Jones.
Just trying to stretch it out, okay?
Right.
Let's do this.
Listen, just the fact that the run game, which is devalued and guys aren't getting played or nothing, the run game's very much alive and well in 2019. I like to see that after 100 years in the NFL. What does an effective run game do, though, for Aaron Rodgers and this Packers offense?
It does a lot because I think Aaron Jones is a star. Last year, he led the entire NFL in yards per carry. We just saw him have 4 touchdowns against the Cowboys. And I think more importantly, like, Jordan never had the center. Michael Jordan never had the 7-footer who could dominate for him. And I don't think Aaron Rodgers, with respect to the guys who came before, I don't think Aaron Rodgers has ever had a star at running back. I went into I looked back through the years, the leading rushers for the Packers during the Aaron Rodgers regime. And it's Ryan Grant. These are good players. Ryan Grant, Brandon Jackson from Nebraska, a guy who I had forgotten my name, Alex Green. Alex Green. Peter, where did Alex Green, leading rusher for the Green Bay Packers, play college ball?
Nevada Wolfpack.
Peter, I have it down as Hawaii.
I knew it was a West Coast guy.
You tried to go next. This is my point, though.
Whack conference.
This is the most venerable franchise in history.
Okay.
We don't remember their running backs. We remember the receivers and Jordy and the quarterbacks. I think this dude is the star, Aaron Jones, and I think he's just getting better. He just won the Angry Run segment on this program.
Yes.
And I'll have you know, he dropped me a note that said, "Thank you so much. I miss all of you guys. Tell the crew I said
Wow.
100." But I think it's the best running back that Aaron Rodgers has ever had. And I think that's scary.
Was the NFC Player of the Week. We revealed that on our show. Deshaun Watson won it for the AFC. He has 8 rushing touchdowns, leads the NFL. I will say, because I love to look at numbers, the inconsistencies are there, right? He has 200-yard games, and then the other 3 games he has 79 rushing yards combined. What are you seeing when you watch him? I know you looked at all of his tape for being angry runner. What are you seeing in him that makes him the best?
He's not big.
Star?
He's not
Eddie
big.
Lacy was pretty good his rookie year.
He was good. And then Eddie Lacy, as we know, was very big. Aaron Jones is small. Like, he's just a shade over 200 pounds, but this is the thing that you just can't describe any other way. He has a burst. The second he gets the ball, he explodes. And kind of like what McCaffrey does. And I think if the numbers are there, and maybe that's just because Rodgers threw a lot those games.
Right.
I don't know. He hasn't really been featured because Jamal Williams still plays a lot. He's been injured. Now he has. The only way I can describe it is when Aaron Jones gets the ball, he explodes. And I think that's really hard to find.
And I had the opportunity to talk to LaFleur a bunch this offseason.
What's he got?
What's it going to be different? And they kept on talking about Aaron Jones. Like, Davante Adams is the stud.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback. But Aaron Jones was who he was excited to be with. I think that their future is bright for this kid. And the Packers, if you know the Packers, it's a rotating door at that position. And you just named all those guys, Alex Green included. But even in recent years, is it Jamal Williams? Is it him? Is it Ty Montgomery? I think they found their guy. Wow. And if he can stay upright, I think the Packers have a nice little 1-2 with him and Davante Adams on the outside.
And Marquez is good, too.
And Marquez can play. Like, this might finally be the offense they've been looking for around Rodgers.
Who's Marquez?
Marquez, Valdez,
Scantling.
He's a really good player.
And to date it back for people that might not know why he would send you that message, he came on the show, and he was so humble. And he was almost gracious to be there. And what I loved about that is you almost have to be that on a team that has Aaron Rodgers because this is his show. And then Davante Adams, who runs the show at wide receiver. But speaking of that, the best thing that could happen for not just Aaron Rodgers, but also Davante Adams being such a superstar is having a guy that's consistent in that backfield. Because Davante, you got to imagine this. As a wide receiver, we get to the line of scrimmage, and we're taught to identify the safeties. Usually you'll see wide receivers putting their arms up because they want to know exactly where everybody is. You point to the safety, and most of the time, that safety that's over the top is climbing right over the cornerback that's guarding Davante. And as a wide receiver, even though he's talented, he's probably thinking, here I go again. I have to beat double coverage and be a Superman and try to get this ball from my squad. The best feeling he can have, which is starting to happen for the first time in his career as a wide receiver, is he identifies those safety, and that safety takes his butt to the middle of the field. Because why? He has to get in the box.
Respect it.
Because you have to respect the run. For the first time in a long time, it opens up this offense.
And I think he will eat up against the Detroit Lions in fantasy. I have him inside the top 10. I like him more than Chris Carson. I like him more than David Johnson, even more than Le'Veon Bell. And that's what we're going to talk about next because Le'Veon Bell finally... Patriots got a win. They're undefeated. They faced the Giants last night to kick off Week 6, which is already underway. So let's break down the slate of action ahead with a round of Mad Minute. I want to start with Denver. So the Broncos are hosting the Titans. The Broncos are now 1-4. The last time they started 1-4, guys, was 2011. Then they rallied to get into the playoffs with who at quarterback?
Peyton Manning.
Tim Tebow!
Oh, Tim Tebow.
It's just a fun fact for you. Broncos, Titans, what are you looking for in this one, Nate?
I'm looking at Von Miller. You know, I know it's been tough sledding this year because he doesn't have those numbers statistically, and I have to do a little bit of an apology. Last Sunday on NFL Today, I kind of called him out during halftime. I said, Von Miller needs to be more active. He's virtually invisible out there. Now, he's one of those individuals, when he doesn't fill up the stat box, he still is making an impact on the game. It's just tough. Without Chubb out there, he's holding it down by himself. So Von Miller's still having a good season, but even more is placed on his shoulders with the injury of the young guy.
I don't know who to pick in this game. The Broncos just went on the road and looked great against the Chargers, and the Titans, after being so excited about the Titans, how they played 2 weeks ago, lost a really bad one where they missed a bunch of field goals against the Bills. I don't know who to pick in this one. It's in Denver. And if Denver gets a win, suddenly they got 2, and maybe things get clicking, and it's not blow up everything, let's start anew again. I just have no read on this game, and that's my analysis.
The Redskins, you would never pick the Titans for the pigskin pick 'em game.
I can't.
No.
Titans defensive tackle Jarrell Casey's come on the show before. He said that his wife, Ryan, says, I only ever say negative things about the Titans. So I'm going to say something very positive right now. I would bet every dime that I have that the Titans win this weekend. Why? Because they lost last weekend, and they're 2-3, and the Titans are magnetically attracted to 9-7. So they will win this one. Go all in on the Titans. Hello, Ryan.
Not the first player's wife that's mentioned to you on the show.
No, I know. Apparently they like me. I wonder why.
Oh, my God.
Kyle means handsome.
Have we met?
Moving on, we're headed to Miami, where the Dolphins host the Redskins. Both teams looking for their first win of the season. Hey, Kyle.
Yeah.
Talk to all the ladies out there.
Yeah.
What are you expecting to come out on in this
Mrs.
matchup?
Callahan have
Who
to
comes
say?
out on top?
Redskins, Dolphins. Can I tell you something? Do you know that no one has come within even 24 points of beating the Alabama Crimson Tide this year?
Stop.
Do you know that Tua is putting up over 54 points of offense, and he faces his second road game against A&M this weekend? What a great time it's going to be for the Dolphins and Redskins to watch the Tua for Alabama this weekend. That's my take.
It's like they get Terry McLaurin back in Washington, and Bill Callahan came in, and I don't know how this works with the younger player, but they cut out all the music during stretching.
Really?
They were running wind sprints after practice yesterday. It was like,
fun.
yeah, really, like we're 0-5. They're trying to shake things
They bury
up.
the football?
And yet the one thing that's consistent, Haskins isn't playing.
Okay.
So to me, this team, I don't know. We'll see how they play, but I don't know if music at practice or not is going to be a difference.
I'm curious to see how the team rallies around the decisions made moving forward. Because when you're a player on the squad and your coach gets fired, there's a lot of guys that love Gruden. And now all of a sudden, things are being changed around, shaken up a little bit. Now, what if they're not happy with the quarterback decision moving forward? What if Colt McCoy doesn't play well? And all of a sudden the team is clamoring saying, let's get our guy in. We want some change. I wonder how this team is going to respond moving forward.
Deep dive to Bill Callahan. Last time he coached an NFL game was 2003. He was the head coach of the Raiders. To put that in perspective and how long ago it was, Tim Brown and Jerry Rice played for him.
Oh, yeah.
In his last game
Tyrone
as a
Wheatley.
head coach. So he's bringing that old school mentality back. Let's see if it works. Moving on to the Jets. We've got a healthy Sam Darnold. They're hosting the Cowboys here on the East Coast. How do we see this one playing out? Peter?
Yeah, I was so high on the Jets before the season, and then I ran from that bandwagon as fast as I possibly could when the mononucleosis happened. Now Darnold's back. Do I get on the bandwagon? Not yet. Chris Herndon hurt himself running routes last Friday. He's not going to be in the game. I don't think we're going to see C.J. Mosley. I think the Jets are still a couple of weeks back from being what we hoped they would be in August. I hate to be a downer here in New York. I really wanted the Jets to be relevant. This just might not be the season.
What's happening here?
I'm into it. I'm excited for this game, for the Adam Gase experience. Adam Gase is like Andy Dufresne. I feel like he got a month in the hole. Just sit there and with your thoughts and think it over and come up with all kinds of ideas. I think the offensive game plan is going to be incredible.
Yeah.
I think the Jets are going to win this game.
Outright.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Or am I being obtuse? Jets over Cowboys.
I'm going with the Cowboys catching their rhythm back. Sometimes you have to get your juices going up against another team that isn't good. And, I hate to say that because I've been on teams.
Kyle just picked them straight up.
I know. And I feel like the Jets are going to get the doors blown off by the Cowboys because they want to catch the rhythm back. This is a team that we all looked at as a potential Super Bowl squad. So I'm going with the Cowboys getting a swag up.
Dak Prescott's been the quarterback. The Cowboys have only lost 3 games in a row once, and it was when they didn't have Zeke Elliott when he was serving his suspension. We'll see if they can bounce back. But I like that Adam Gase. He's sitting in the
I'm so
hole.
excited for the Gase experience. All he's been doing is eating pizza and listening to Foo Fighters for a month. Go get it out. Come on, baby.
Now the shoulder's
Learn to
back
fly.
up.
Oh, it's way up, okay? It's crazy.
Todd Gurley popped up on the injury report.